everyone, it's Kathy Champion, and you're back with me in my craft room and on my YouTube channel, Kathy's Random Acts of Stampin'. I'm so glad you could join me today. We are in full Christmas mode, and today I'm going to work with the Merry Snowflake Bundle, and that is paired with the stitched snowflakes. Now, I'm pretty sure that I'm going to be using more of this than this, but that's okay. This particular bundle can stand alone either way. These are such pretty snowflakes that you can stamp. You've got this little swirly. I love these little flourishes like this that you can use for like the snow blowing, and the sentiments in this one are just outstanding. Season's greetings, merry everything. May your days be merry and bright, and may all your Christmases be white. May the happiness of family, the joy of friendship, and the warmth of love surround you this season. Such a beautiful stamp set, and these dies, oh my word, they are gorgeous. And then the words of cheer. Y'all have seen me use this before, but this particular piece right here, you can stamp this out and then cut it using this larger piece, or you can use these sentiments and use it like that. But the best thing about this is the way the words will layer. And y'all seen me do the happy, where I did the happy in one color and then did the happy that goes over top of it in a different color and layered it. It's beautiful like that. The one that I hadn't used was the one that I want to use today, and that's this one right here, just the word cheer. It is a beautiful piece, and we're going to jazz it up a little bit. I'm going to show you a piece, what I have in mind, and then we're going to do this and put it together. I took a strip of that beautiful black glitter paper. Isn't that gorgeous? See how the light catches it? And I did this in a blue. This is in the Misty Moonlight, and I cut the little pieces out of white to go behind it, and I think that just makes it pop. I love the way that looks, and this gives it a landing place. It gives it something to frame it, and so that's one of the pieces I want to use. And how I did that was I used this little piece right here, and it cuts out 3 pieces at one time, and these were the little white pieces that I used behind the word cheer. And that just really accentuates everything so well. So we're going to use that. This has stars in it. You've got 2 different sizes of stars. You've got holly leaves. You've got this beautiful piece that does these little berries. I mean, I love this die set. It is expansive. You got these little leaves. It can just do so much. So, and then of course you've got this very pretty just a typed version of the word cheer that is nice too. So you can use it, like that, which I love. And I think what's good about this, you can cut these letters out individually, and then you can put them in over top. Let me check and see if it works that way. If it does, we may go in that direction. I want to double check that and see if that's the way that works. And I'm just going to line it up on here. And I'm going to run this through my die machine, and we're going to see if those pieces will fit on there. I had not done this yet, so I wasn't sure. It's always a good rule of thumb when you get your pieces or your dies to run them through and try them and see. And yes, look at this. These will fit perfectly on top of that. And look how that makes that, you can't see it. Oh, let me show you. Oh my goodness. Look at that. I love it. I think we're going to use that. So I'm going to go ahead and take these pieces off since I've cut them. And we are going to use those alphabets, and we're going to glue those onto there. That is going to be beautiful. So I'm just going to lay them on here for right now. And the other E and the R. So pretty. That might be just a tiny bit tedious to get those in there, but you know what? We've got to take your pick tool, and we've got glue, and I can't see why we can't make that work. And if you wanted to cut that out on a dark piece and then put a white piece or a different contrasting piece under it, you could easily do that. I would save that little piece that came out of the R though if you needed to do that, so you could glue that in. Love it. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and stick my dies back in. to my sleeve because I like to keep everything together whenever possible. You don't want to lose your dies, that's for sure. All right, the other thing that I want to do is I want to go ahead and we're going to do a card base. So let's decide what we want to do. And I think for this one, I am going to choose the Night of Navy. I think the Night of Navy will make a beautiful showing. And what I did ahead of time is I went ahead and picked a piece of white cardstock, and you can see I put down a little color on it. And I might do this over because I think I want it to fit a little bit better than this on my card base. So let's measure and make sure that this piece is 4 1/4 and it should be 5 1/2, and it is. So yeah, I'm going to redo this, and then that way I can bring you along with me and show you what I had in mind. So I'm going to go ahead and cut another piece of white, and I'm going to make sure that I'm getting, I think I want to do it on the thick Whisper White. So we have us a piece of thick Whisper White, and I am going to cut this to 4. Move that over. One thing you want to do when you're measuring is don't have anything pushing against your paper because it can get off. So make sure you have enough of room on your desk when you set your trimmer down where your paper can lay out flat. That is crucial. So I'm going to cut that piece. Then I'm going to turn it, and I am going to cut this to 5 1/4. Now this piece should pair perfectly on top of here with just that 1/8 of an inch all the way around. Just about like that. Perfect. Love that. So now what I need to do is I want to go ahead and ink this up just a little bit, and I'm going to grab a piece of scrap paper, and I have my blue blending brush, and I'm going to start off with a little bit of let me change this off just a little bit. Okay, I'm going to just go ahead and ink up, tapping off to the side. I might need to re-ink this one. Doesn't, yeah, there we go. And I'm just going to come in and swirl some color on each corner. Yeah, I got a little bit of ink on my finger and I smudged it right there. See this little smudge? It's okay. We'll cover that up with a snowflake or something beautiful. Never feel like you've messed up a piece of cardstock, because many times you can cover up your little boo-boos. Hang on for me 1 second. It seems like I got a message. Okay, nothing to be concerned about. So I'm just going to continue going around these edges and get a good amount of my color. Try to smooth that out a little bit. You're probably thinking, well, couldn't you just use a piece of Balmy Blue? Yeah, I could have, but I want this look of snow. And I don't want it to be an even all-around color. I want it to look like it's kind of snowdrift. So I'm going to come back in now with my Night of Navy. And on this one, I want to put just a splotch of color where I want my snowflakes to fall. So let's say we want a snowflake up here in this corner like that. I want to just splotch some color right there like that. That will give us a landing. And see, I think I need a little bit darker, so I'm going to go in Get a little bit more on there. And I'm concentrating right into that center. And I like the way that looks. Oh yeah. And see how it lightens it once you lay the white on it? It seems like it gets much lighter. Look how dark it looks there. And then the minute you lay that white snowflake, it really does ease up the color on it. So that's where I want that one. And then I think I'm going to do this one maybe right about there. So I'm going to tap right there so that'll give me an idea where I want that color. And I'm just going to go around and around right there on that side. And this particular design I just kind of came up with on my own. I didn't see this anywhere. It wasn't like I got inspired from something. It was just kind of something in my head, and I kind of went with it, and it kind of grew and became what it is just through my little bit of trial and error. So this is, I suggest, you know, when you are kind of fumbling for something to make and you can't come up with an idea, just sit down and start with one or two things and then just learn to build on it. And you will be so surprised at how quick and easy things will come together for you if you just let your imagination flow. And that's exactly what I did here. I'm going to go ahead and close this ink pad up. It got very warm here today, so I have my ceiling fan on, and I don't want my inks to dry up. So for that reason, I am going to see what we can do here. I think I want that one there and my other one right about here. And I want these to hang off just a little bit. And this is where the word, this is going to come down the middle right here. And like I said, all I done was cut out the word cheer, the decorative one. And y'all saw me cut this one out. And what I'm going to do with this is I am going to leave this on here, and I'm going to take some glue. I'm going to use this one because it has a fine tip. And I am going to run some glue around here. And I'm going to use tweezers for this. I probably could use my take your pick tool, but I'm going to start out with my tweezers and see if I can set that down in that glue just like that. Mash it, mash it, mash it. And then I'm going to do the same thing for the H. This one should be fairly easy, just a straight line. And then we're going to pick that up with the tweezers, line it up. And then we're going to pick this one up. And again, I'm just going to draw out the letter with my glue. And then just set my E down into the glue. Looks a little tedious, but it really isn't. I'm finding this very easy to do. Let's try to take your pick and see if it works equally as well with that tool. If I can find it. Y'all know I always got my take your pick. Of course I do. It's right here. So we're going to try it again with the E and the R, and I'm going to use the take your pick, and I'm going to use that putty end. And let's see how that works out for me. So I'm going to turn my E and then just set it down. I think I like it better using the tweezers because I have a chance to make changes. Yep, I think I have a little bit more control over it this way. But you know, what I always say is you use what works the best for you. Sometimes my take your pick tool is the tool that I go to over and over and over. But then sometimes I just want to grab something a little different. And this was one of those times because it's allowing me to pick this up and bring it over and just line it up just like that. Mash, mash, mash. And then we're going to put this onto the black, and I think I want to use a little bit. I need to trim that out right there. Make sure you look after you put your stems on, and if you have any stems that are overlapping where they're showing, just take your paper snips and snip them off. That's why I didn't put glue on the back of those. I didn't want any of those little white stems to be showing. So now I need to decide, what am I going to glue this down with? And my question is, can I use dimensionals? I think I can, but you know what might even work better is some glue dots, because we can roll these. So my take your pick tool is going to come in really handy for these, and I'm going to just pick up a dot and I'm going to roll that. Just see how I rolled it? And I'm going to stick it right about there. And you can pull these. They pull really easy. They kind of conform to what you need them to be. And then you can lay them where you need them and kind of pull them out. Just like that. And then I'm going to roll another one. Just rolling it around. And I'm going to bring this one right about here. Pulling it down. And let's grab another one. Love, love, love my glue dots. They are so neat. They're so easy to use, and they're so forgiving. So I love, love, love using my glue dots. This will give a little dimension, not quite as much as your Stampin' Dimensionals, but it does give you a little bit. And I just think they work perfectly, especially on glitter cardstock. Sometimes glitter cardstock's not the easiest thing to glue to. So I think our glue dots are going to work really well here. And put one right there. I think I'm going to try to get one right back up there, and I think that'll be plenty of glue dots on this whole piece. So let's see how that goes. And now we're going to sit this down on here, and I know that I want it to go about like that. And then press it. Isn't that gorgeous? Beautiful. And then we can run this right down the middle of our card over top of our snowflakes, and we will pop that piece up. I'm thinking I might want to trim a little bit off of that side. For that, I'm just going to take a regular pair of scissors, and I'm going to trim close as I can to those little holly berries. Just like that. Yeah, I like that. So now for these, I'm going to use glue, and I'm going to put some in the center and down these stitch lines. And then just lay them down right where you wanted them in those areas that we did with the Night of Navy. I'm going to do the same thing here. Just run the glue along the stitched areas, the middle, out to the edges, and then lay that down. Press, 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 and do the same thing to this one. And then we're going to do the same thing with this one. This one we have a little bit more space to work with, so I'm just going to go into each one of these little points and put a little glue there like that and stick it right about here. Now our snowflakes are down. Everything looks beautiful, and I want to turn this over, and I'm going to grab some regular Stampin Dimensionals, and we are going to put probably 4 right down the middle of this piece. So I'll put 1 down here, and if I do top and bottom, then I can kind of get them more evened up, and that looks really good. Put my pen back in my glue. And then we can stick this right here on the top. And what I'm looking for is to try to get the same amount at the top and the bottom. Now if you notice where I put the glue and it wet the underneath, it kind of turned a green color, but that's okay. That just adds a little bit more character to our card. So I'm going to lay this down middle way, right about like so, and press. And now we can see what this is going to look like on our card base. So pretty. I love that. It looks so wintry, so beautiful. And how easy was that? I mean, you die cut 4 snowflakes, and these were different ones, so you can push them all through at one time, and then you cut your one piece. The most tedious part was doing the little white pieces for the back, and if you wanted to, you could go in and just put little balls with using a jelly roll pen on those, and you wouldn't have to do that. And then I did cut out of the white to fill in, and I think that card turned out beautiful. So all I'm going to do now is put some glue on the back of it and glue it to my card base, and then all I have to do, that I have left to do, is cut a piece of white to go inside and stamp my sentiment, glue it in, and this card's done. You can't ask for a faster or an easier card than that, now can you? And if you want to grab up some of these beautiful dies before they're gone in the stamp sets, go over to my webpage and check out the link where it's talking about last chance items, because many of these are going to be on the last chance sale page. So go check it out before they're gone. Grab your pieces before they all are sold out, because once they're gone, these are retired pieces that aren't coming back. So you want to grab them while you can. But don't y'all love the way this card turned out? It's Christmas cheer, y'all. So inside I'm going to put something really, really pretty. Let's cut a piece of white. And I want something big and boisterous inside that says, screams Merry Christmas, because like I said, we are in full-fledged Christmas mode, and nothing could make me any happier. Christmas is such a joyous time of the year. It is the time that God gave the greatest gift to humanity, and that was the gift of his son, Jesus. And I thank him and praise him every day for that wonderful gift, because without my God, I would be nothing. And even in his sight, I am nothing. But I am blessed beyond people because I know him as my Lord and Savior. So my prayer would be that you would come to know Jesus if you don't already know him. If you do know him, I pray that you would draw closer with each and every passing day, that he would become the center of your life and your love, and that you would find the joy that only he can bring. So I am going to work over here real quick to find some beautiful sentiments, and I know I've got some that are Merry Christmas to you. I love this one, the Holly Jolly Wishes. It is totally a sentiment stamp set, but look at this, Merry Christmas to you. And these are big. Look how big the stamp is. And so it will cover a good portion of that. And we're going to do it in that pretty blue. So do I want to do it in Night of Navy? I think I'm going to do it in the Misty Moonlight. And the reason I think I want to do it in the Misty Moonlight is I want it to kind of tie in with the softer color. Oops. So I'm going to grab a stamp block. And y'all need to time me on this. I think this was probably the fastest card ever. Of course, yes, I did have some of the pieces already pre-cut, but you could really knock these out. You know, sit and cut all your pieces one day when you're not too busy doing anything else, or you just need to take a break from everything else that's going on and cut your pieces. And then all you got to do is pop them in. Now, I am going to add a little something, because I'm going to take my corner punch. This is my detailed trio punch, and I want to punch that little decorative edge on each one of these corners. I love this punch. It just adds that little extra something that we sometimes want on our card. Fast and easy, and it makes a statement, because when you put this down on top of a color, it's going to show through and it's going to be so pretty. Just like that. Get all my little bits and pieces out of the way, and then I'm going to use a tape runner, my little Stampin Seal, to seal this down just like this. And we're going to put this right in the middle like that. Press it. That card is ready to go. Now, who wouldn't be thrilled to get a card? Simple, yes, but it's just gorgeous. I love that soft color, the blue and like I said, even where that green came through. And if you don't like that green, you could fix it. You could very easily take a colored pencil. Let's see if we have a colored pencil that will work. Let's see if that's Pacific Point. Nope, that one's too dark. I want to go in with a Balmy Blue. Let's see if that'll color that. Yep, that will color that green a little bit. If you don't want that to show, you can go in with a marker and just kind of color in a little bit like that. Be careful if you do this, because if you use a marker, especially the alcohol markers, they may bleed over onto your color. That green doesn't bother me. I think it, like I said, I think it adds a little bit of character to the card. So I'm going to leave mine. I really like it the way it is. And get my pencils back together. And if you haven't tried the Stampin' Up! Pencils, I would say give them a whirl, because they are something. I hope you've enjoyed the making of this quick little Christmas card. So much fun, so festive. And if you're interested in any of the products I use, be sure to click the link in the description box below, and there you will find the link to my Stampin' Up! Store. It will say my Stampin' Up! Website. Click on that and it will take you there. All of the products that I use will be listed in the description below as well, with the item number. So all you have to do is copy and paste, and you're on your way to your Stampin' Up! Order being delivered right to your doorstep. Love you guys so much. God bless and keep you. And as I always say in closing, let everything, and I mean every action, every word, everything that you do, bring glory to our Father in heaven. He is worthy. Give him the praise and honor that he so richly deserves. God bless you and keep you. And until we craft again, take care. Bye-bye.